favorite hero side of things, less of the undervalued thing.
Favorite? What do you mean favorite?
Favorite. You actually favor, you like Naga Siren?
Yeah. You like techies, dude. Don't even get me started, all right? You don't have a leg to stand on here.
That's why I'm sitting down. Yeah, but it's a fun draft. KP will have to earn his goal this time around, playing that Night Stalker in the 3 role, but definitely one of the heroes we've seen just create an insane tempo. Like such strength that comes early on, and then this just keeps rolling him through the nighttime after nighttime after nighttime phases.
Yeah, the name of this game is going to be vision control, right? TNC got abused around the map in the previous game, mostly thanks to that early gem Batrider combination from Gambit. This time, you have Naga Illusion shoving waves, traps, Night Stalker vision. So difficult to play against if you fall behind as Gambit.
March, this is not how we wanted to have to start this game. He's leveled up Blinding Light. KP wants to try and create some space. That's done from GPK. Well off target, but the spins out from Dream. March is slowed up, and he's not going anywhere. The level 1 Frost Blast skilled up from FNG to give that extra slow. They won't have time to contest the other bounty rune. So it ends up just being a 2-2 trade off.
Let's see here. This mid lane is the one to watch. GPK on the Leshrac against the TA. A very skill-based matchup. Certainly TA favored. He's coming to the lane with 66 damage against the Leshrac's 53. However, if you go the Diabolic Edict build on the Lesh, you can maybe threaten kills. You rip through that refraction, but it's easier said than done. Armel actually going refraction level 1. I like that a lot because even if you were to catch a stun, not going to take any damage. Guarantees you a few last hits early on.
Normally we've been seeing the TAs going for that sideblade build, just playing that skill base you're talking about. Play the positioning, get the early harassment, force out the consumables early. But this Leshrac, double circlets and a mantle. It's still a lot to get through. How does the Naga play out in this? Is Gabby on this safe lane Naga? How's he play this lane against the Beastmaster and still stay ahead?
Well, it helps that Naga kind of counters Beastmaster in the lane because you just send illusions at his board. It's part of the reason Shaklo just opts to skill up the axes here. You don't want to feed away extra creeps.
Do you actually like just stay off that for a while then? Can you fight with Inner Beast and Wild Axes as priority?
You can skill it as you just did here, but I don't think you want to pop them because the boards just give way too much gold and XP away. And if Naga gets an advantage early, it's very tough to take him down. Axes don't really clear illusions too well because they have so much armor.
But at least giving some vision, that'll help. Vampire has managed to drag the creep wave all the way up to the tier 3 tower. Tims will look for a contest against it. Vampire to take a decent amount of damage as the battle for the CS of the supports begins. In the unlikeliest of places.
And it's going to be another slower game. I think that KP is going to have to get aggressive here for his side. He's really the only playmaker on the team. We've seen Armel play this TA before. Oftentimes he's in the jungle until the Deso, maybe even the Blink Dagger's picked up. But every nighttime, KP can be a threat. And I expect him to do the same build we've been seeing, that Rush Dags. GPK.
Yeah, that's really nice. Can't get the Edict up as well, though. Yeah. Not enough time. It takes too long, and yeah, the creeps were coming in too.
I like this. He's harassing and then aggro stunning 1 point in the Edict so that if he gets the opportunity to chase Armel, he would actually be able to kill him.
Look where Tims is positioning, back behind the tower.
We've seen this before.
Looking for a nice line just to get the stun to GPK, especially as he misses his own onto the Templar Assassin. There's a courier coming in too, so this is a secondary side. Tims shows himself to the creep wave. 1, 2 leaps, looks up, and with a third leap, courier realizes it has nowhere to go. It was like 15 seconds away from being self-upgraded. And that wouldn't have been possible, but that's the south for Leshrac, and now GPK has to go all the way home to heal up.
That's so big, because the big time for TA is level 6. You're definitely going to beat Leshrac to that under the circumstances.
So you put okay, at least there's an invis room for the ES. Wasn't scouted out by any Radiant Obs, but he needs to really make this work.
Yeah, it
has to be Fissure stun into Split Earth, into Edict damage.
That just ruins the Lesh game. You're playing aggressively as GPK, you're trying to win the lane through out harassing, but you need that regen to be able to make this pay off. Instead, that CS sacrifice
And they got to fidget block him. Now they go with the split earth follow-up stun. This is going to make it worth for GPK. Armel, nowhere to go. The arrow flies forward. GPK will dodge it. Vampire wasn't so lucky, and Armel gets the refraction, charges up in time.
That was sick from Tims. He stood right on the corner there. He was actually tanking half the edict damage by positioning himself in that location. Really well done, ensuring his TA can stay alive. Another salve from Armel. He's already full HP. And if you don't get the kill as the Leshrac, you can see GPK is already half HP. So it's really rough now.
And there's no runes, there's no nothing to come. He's looking for the bottle. 40 seconds to the courier's back up. This top lane just been going ham, but March or KP, either one just continuously save as a blinding light push back on Dream, so he can't get in range to get the spin off, or it's a void, so he doesn't have the movement speed to also get the distance to close on Keeper of the Light. This is just a fun lane to watch for TNC. For the duel off. The fidget block is out, but Armel's protected by refraction as well as having Tims behind him. But the Observer was protecting. They still try and get the stuns. GPK copped a huge side blade hit. So low on life.
Top
Courier's up in 5 seconds. Then he'll have the sustain with the bottle and Sal flying. But we also hit nighttime.
All Core's doing all right, but GPK, man, this is even more harmful just because of how well he's been playing. When your star player is suffering, it just doesn't feel good. And look at, oh my god, the side blading from Armel, dude. He doesn't even have to hit the Leshrac. He's going to force him back to the courier. He's got the bottle and salve up, but Armel's about to hit level 6, and then the trap pressure starts to come out. Even with the early Bassi on TA, you don't see this all the time, but it ensures he has the mana regen to spam refract. And in addition, when Lesh actually is forced to leave, you can just start hitting tower, especially now with this catapult wave up. 3 heroes mid, though, but a 2-level advantage right now for Armel.
They're here to get the sentry wards down. Make sure these TA traps can't be up. But the TA trap is already connected onto GPK, plus the side blade damage. So Vampire wants to wrap around the back, but they have to get through the defensive refraction charges. There's 4 of them, and GPK can't clean them up quickly. They need all that damage to arrive from Vampire.
Radiant are scanning.
I was actually really feeling that this top lane would have been the bigger one to gank up. Bring the ES in, but Mirana's always roaming. It's nighttime. The Keeper of the Light was really your primary target, but they just backed each other up, March and KP. And KP underneath the tier 1 tower. He's here with Tims, and they go around the back. Dream's trying to clean up this creep wave. The catapult's having a lot of time to hit into the tower. Now Vampire, Fissure.
He's just not a play. He's way too fast. And then, like, look at Tims.
Mirana's got multiple leaps. Like, you can't lock Tims down.
They're just being a nuisance here. And this is the goal, right? Shaker is a roaming hero. You want to find kills. Not much effect in the lane. So you can't kill mid. There's a TA there. Now farming his own stacks, as Armel is always happy to do. These ones were March, and we've seen this over and over, right? March kind of runs around, dies a couple times, but it's no big deal. A core then leaves him the lane after they go to jungle. He's free to sit mid, trade against the Lesh.
And GPK burn every bit of mana he's got to try and stay alive while he farms up what was a huge stack. This is helping him get back on the board.
Oh, he finds Tims. Hello.
Ah, that'll help. If he can get the stun, Tims is just pulling the wave over. And Tims, he's got 1 leap available if he sees the arms go up. He's looking for the second wave too, but he'll lose the first one. TP's coming in from the ES. This will give that initial stun they need to get the follow-up split earth, and Tims will be picked off. Can't leap if you're perma-stunned. And then on top lane, KP trying to escape from Dream and FNG, but 2 points up in the Frost Shield, that 25% slow. With the phase boots of Juggernaut, it's not something the Night Stalker, even in nighttime, can escape.
Oh, look at this huge Ancient stack, by the way. March doing work. Is that 4? Yeah, it is. Really nice for Armel.
Not something that can be cleared up by Gambit as well.
Yeah, they have nothing that really clears Ancients.
That's problematic. Very low on life. KP almost killed him off. Had to burn the 1 charges, gets back onto the tier 1 tower, and you can feel KP wanting to go for more. Instead, he just drops FNG down, and FNG will TP home. So the top lane will be totally abandoned as Juggernaut does the long walk of shame.
Yeah, you might have died as KP, but when you TP back in with full HP, full mana, and it's still nighttime. A Jug with nothing left.
They're scouting the stacks. Vampire just stacked it up, and what does Gabby love? He loves stacks.
Speaking of stacks, look at Armel, man. He's already doing this. Is this 4? 5? Just 4 stacks, but still, like, it's part of the reason TA, even after the nerfs to refraction, no longer functioning on denies, it really just doesn't matter, because how many other heroes in Dota can do this, right? By far the most valuable camp.
FNG's being played. They have to bring the Hawk up from the Beastmaster to try and chase Gabby. TNC left a very deep observer ward down. I had a funny feeling that, yeah, FNG knows about it. It was just the way that Gabby was playing.
It's so cool that we saw him do this in the previous days, I think on Thursday, Friday, where he just starts playing in between tier 2, tier 3. How are you supposed to kill him, right? You have a Roar, sure, but a level 4 Shaker, that's not a threat. There's actually nothing you can do to chase this hero down. It's part of why he gets that early win lace. 400 move speed on the Naga.
Shaker's actually busy. Like, he's farming up the mid lane. They push Leshrac to the bottom lane. Juggernaut's down here as well. So they have to be forcing the tower. 4 points up in Edict. The Split Earth's not going to connect from GPK while up on top. KP going for his dive once again. Shashlo. Again, not where he wants to be either. The Ensnare is out. The Roar as well. Tries to create some space. Walks straight through with the phase boost. FNG puts the shields up. And they're just trying to disengage. Our pressure is not stopping on bottom. Mirana, okay, leap out of the trees. But they just have to Edict. Take out this tier 1 tower and just look for the tower trade-off. While Shashlo, and he's already committed his draw, doesn't have phase boots available, but FNG, Frostblast, KP, takes to the trees. Shashlo is just copping a beating on top lane, but it's for the good of the two cores on bottom.
I still love watching March, man. He is so selfless. Just, I'm a chakra bot. I help my TA keep refraction up. Let me stack these ancients. All in for the team. And
the Fidget can't even stop Armel from hitting into that tower, but FNG, there's a wonderful ability called Frost Shield onto the towers. GPK is now finally going to arrive. FNG pulls him in. The Blinding Light pushes him back, however, cancelling the Sinister Gaze and buying the time for Armel to back off. And GPK pulls out of the Split Earth.
Typical March Dota.
Yep, always.
Right place, right time. He's not even in XP range. He's staying just outside of it when he can. Now a little closer just to ensure he can protect his TA if needed with that another Blinding Light.
10 minutes to get 100 CS on a TA.
Yeah.
You're down for that.
And you can see the big difference. Because TNC have this more aggressive style, they're not just buying Midas, this is the big part, but look at their farming patterns, right? They're ahead, but these heroes can farm way more aggressively on the map. Instead of just chilling on their own side as DK and Slark farming the woods, now Gabby is taking this whole top side, Armel's pressuring mid, then returning to Ancients. They couldn't even farm Ancients in the previous game. So it's a lot easier for them to split resources around the map. It's why they have a 3K lead even when down 3-0.
Yep. Just cannot believe the level disparity between Gambit and TNC. Well, Lesh getting hit. He's trying to just edict through. It's level 12 on the TA because it wasn't just a solo experience from mid. No one was there leeching the Ancients either. And because you had both Lesh and Juggernaut on the bottom lane, they're also underleveled in comparison.
Yep. He's taken 7 stacks of Ancients in 11 minutes.
Back to the trees for Edict. No fortification for the Radiant. They can't stop this. And the Hawk, well, they can get rid of that. It's underneath the sentry. Easy money.
Yeah. They've got the big spells active. Nice arrow there. DD as well on Tim's.
That's enough. He has enough damage output. Stick charges. They're going to Sinister Gaze back in. Raw not going to be popped and a leap away from Mirana. And Lich showing with the level 2 Frost Shield just how survivable you can be.
They saw that ward. Ooh, sentry just out of range.
Maybe they thought he put it up on the hillside with the way he played.
Slightly inefficient ward there from March. If he had moved it.
Oh, Juggernaut, Omni Slash, the leap forward. Tim's can't break free of it. That's the level 1 Omni, but he had enough bounces. And there's a spin TP available. Dream will definitely take that one. Here's your spin TP out. The creep wave's already been fortified. He needed that. He needed a solo kill. He needed some more momentum. Just finished the drums up and now already working on the Yasha.
TA has level 13 and Blink active. Armel looking a rock. I mean, no one on the entire team is even level 10 yet. Shaklo just hit 9. He's so far ahead of the game, and Gabby's not far behind, almost at a Mantis style already.
The Vampire, he has a Blink Dagger available. They're going to see Gabby in for the Echo Slam, combining with the Chain Frost, put that Naga down.
Love it. That's a real fast Blink Dagger, but he went Brown Boots straight into it. No build-up items whatsoever, and the maxed out Aftershock means if you catch Naganir's illusions, that is easy pickings.
And the Observe Ward and Sentry set up for all of this. They saw him farming up, and there was no contest. There was no one coming nearby, and kind of a very aggressive place to be farming for TNC when your vision is primarily around the southern side of the map.
Be interesting to see if they get aggressive this time, though. KP went for that hood first. No Midas, no Medallion, just this defensive item. We're going to watch the replay real quick. Yep, plain and simple. Just throw absolutely everything on top of Gabby. GPK even there to pick up the XP and a bit of location gold, but not even needed. See, almost finishes the Yules. In fact, it's on the courier. Just now completed.
Farmage checks the high ground. He comes in, he drops a sentry. Oh, okay, well, they're going to be instantly dewarded. That's not so great. He dropped the first sentry and then channeled the Illuminate so we could see up the hill if he was walking into a trap or walking into a ward. And looks like sentry wards from FNG will be dewarded as well. The battle for the shrine. FNG feels a little bit more like bait. Sharklow's coming over. Templar Assassin. Looks like Night Stalker wants to go into the Dark Ascension, looking for this quick kill. And with the with the meld hit, FNG didn't stand a chance once TA finally reached him.
Yep. And as always, the chakra spam. Help that TA spam refraction off cooldown. Always stay on map. Always farming efficiently. Now 1,000 gold ahead of his teammate, who is 1,000 ahead of the highest player on Gambit in terms of net worth, and that's Dream's Jug. What build's he going for? Drums into Yasha. All right. But will Gambit be able to apply as much pressure as they did in the previous game? It's a lot harder now because, as we said, TNC, they've got these heroes that can just shove lanes and provide vision with no real risk to them. Gabby is constantly sending illusions into topside, both to jungle and farm that lane out. He's going to have a Manta momentarily, and then it gets even more difficult to deal with the hero. He doesn't actually need to enter lanes. You always have some kind of illusion pressure to push out lanes for you. You can see right here, just sending illusions up into the jungle. What's up here, guys? Hey, it's GPK.
GPK actually tried to stop Leshrac by himself before and proved it definitely does not work. He lost a third of his life just to 2 illusions. So they try and clean up the stacks instead. March will finally get his D-ward. I think he saw the sentry as well. So he just gives some cover fire with an arrow to farm up the last one, and then allow KP to Quelling Blade.
Yep. You can see KP has that hood locked. The pipe is on courier. He's going to pick it up soon, but he wants to have that double application.
Fissure 1, no sentry ward for the dire side in that position.
Yeah. It's really cool. Highly recommended if you're an up-and-comer that you start doing this too. Actually, I lied. Now he unlocks it, so he's not going to go for the play where you would pop hood mid-fight and then unlock it. Pipe completes, and then you can pop that as well. Have the double barrier instead, just holding the pipe. Very nice item against the Leshrac that deals with 4 or 5 seconds of that Pulse Nova damage with ease. You're also against the Earthshaker, of course. And if you can just keep your Naga TA alive to get that counter initiation off, whether it's a Refract, Coddle ult, Naga Song.
Oh, they smoked right on top of the Dire Observer ward. This is a very well telegraphed to Gambit. Gambit were ready to fight themselves. They're dropping down their own sentries. They may not want to de-ward straight away because it will reveal their position. But up on the hillside, here they come. Smoke breaks over on KP. FNG took a second to react, and in that second, Nightmare will kill him. The Will-O-Wisp pulling Sharshlow back in once more. But for all of this, you're going to get 2 hero kills. That's fantastic.
More importantly, you walk straight into the Roche Pit. That's a max meld TA with Deso. This will fall no problem unless Gambit can get into the vicinity.
It feels like Gambit want to go for the trade-off. Like Dream is bleeding into the tier 2 tower on bottom lane. GPK is going to come down. This is the old school trade. I would take my tier 2 tower for the Aegis of the Immortal onto a snowballing style hero like Templar Assassin that lets me fight and push high ground. That's the name of this game. Name of the trade. Unless ES wants to go for something YOLO, but he's too far away.
It's looking really good for TNC here. Both their core heroes hitting their stride. And because of the nature of their kit, they're going to also farm faster than the respective 1 and 2 on the Dire team of Gambit. Yeah, 2-shot onto FNG. Pop the ultimate from Coddle. Doesn't matter if it's just 1 kill. This is the vision provider for Gambit, along with their big initiator. So that means Roche is a freebie too. Now you got TA free to play around with that second life.
Are you still okay with this if you're TNC? Like, I feel like we're going to go for another Omni-Slash on bottom lane. Bouncing around, Tim's trying to leap forward. This has happened once before. It's going to happen again. In for the spin. He'll get the kill and then instantly TP away to safety while the spin offers the protection.
Yeah, I think
he couldn't stop him in time.
I'm not sure if that's because he's not timing it right or if you just can't disjoint leap. I think that
if you can get out of vision, then it does it, right? But you need to then like leap into trees.
You can do it if it's like mid-slash or something like that. But either way, if he just holds it, right? The Omni isn't killing him 100-0. He could just leap after the fact. Instead blows all 3. Might have been a little bit of panic, but no big deal, as the Jug was forced to TP out and his team is still dominating the map. Now an Arcane Rune on the Naga. That is the absolutely perfect rune for this timing.
It's just the Juggernaut's farm which is starting to rise. I'm feeling like the core amount of damage, both physical as well as magical, is starting to come online for Gambit. It's taking time, but Leshrac has the Yules as well as the Kaya. The Juggernaut's now got the Maelstrom to go with the Yasha. These early fighting style items that let Gambit play that high tempo game. And now Fissure doesn't block in the Night Stalker, so that will not be a kill. But the Moonlight Shadow burn from Mirana.
Yeah, but since that first kill on the Naga with the blink reveal, there hasn't been any sort of movement from Gambit. They haven't been able to find a pick-off anymore, and a big part of that is because now Gabby is safely playing on his own side of the river,
Balls
trusting
out.
illusions.
Over on the Night Stalker, Arrow's going to fly forward, connects into the ledge. The Fissure block will hold KP in position with the split Earth stun. They just try and keep that Night Stalker control, but under the Will-O-Wisp, it's difficult to fight for Gambit. Chainfrost, they're still holding it out until the TA jumps in and kills off Effigy. I cannot believe KP's surviving through this. 3 HP. The ball couldn't finish the job. The Arrow, a little bit off target, so GPK CP, it will be able to complete, but Shashlo may not be so lucky. Is there a stun? There is not available. Both the supports of Gambit going down. The only big ability being burned is, well, actually none. Is still on cooldown from before, the Omni Slash.
It's just so hard to take fights. There's so much vision all around the map. TNC, you don't have to commit too hard into the engagement either. KP just pops ult, now he's flying around providing clear vision, traps all over the place. Aegis on the TA.
Your Scepter up, look for that stun directly in, but TA just blinks away to safety. That beautiful part about Refraction. As long as it's absorbed, it's not going to put your blink on cooldown. And they've got their vision advantage. TA trap triggers on 3, sentries everywhere. I swear March has spent at a cool 1,000 on these sentries.
20 minutes. I like how he TB's bottom just to place more sentries. And this is really cool. He's consistently putting vision around this bottom shrine area.
Hey, that works perfectly. If FNG dropped that obs there, be even happier.
Yeah. Because Gambit want to play here, right? They know their jungle is being contested. There's vision all over the place.
Dropped it.
That's not good. Wait, is it in range?
Yeah, it is. Oof. Not only do they see it appear, they can deward it easily. So successful for March. I think he's killed, what, 3 Observer wards in the last minute?
Yeah.
If he can get up there and kill that one.
BKB on the TA. Scotty soon to be completed on the Naga Siren. And this is all TNC. 5 to 6, but a 7k gold lead. These two cores just farm so much faster. And it's like, look at Gabby mid, right? He's just in XP range, watching his illusions push, standing on top of the high ground.
Gambit smoke.
You don't risk anything to farm.
They want to fight. Vampire.
I know they're there.
Yep, he's sitting in the trees, and what does TNC do? They go to their obs and sentries with the wrap around the back, looking for Night Stalker. The Roar is out with the Omni Slash. You can go for that Song of the Siren, but the Omni will continue through it. The Fissure is out. KP, Vampire, he'll need a blink and get that Echo Surf. He wants to get the kill. Not again, KP. He can't survive. It's going to be 300 HP. It was 30 last time. Gambit will not be happy with this. The Song of the Siren is just that disengage that TNC have at their disposal.
They learned the lesson, right? Last game, absolutely run over by Gambit. Killed them like 39 times to 5. This time, you got that hard disengage. Oh, Gambit, you're grouped up. You're trying to slay us again. No, thank you. We're going to Song reset, no problem. The Omni Slash is squandered. It's going to be a tough game. You can look how the map just naturally constricts around Gambit. It's because there's just more wave clear on TNC, and they don't need to take any risks. Constantly, these illusions in the top side keep that pushed in. While Gabby continues to farm jungle, he can connect with his teammates middle. Very easy to maintain a presence on the map.
Yeah, Gambit need almost a better jump position. That's why they're trying to get the Blink Dagger on the Beastmaster. But they have to think about their own position of home.
And they lost Aegis.
Yeah, they did. It's timed. Beastmaster's giving some good momentum on bottom lane. It's actually Juggernaut who's being chased. They can't really get the kill. He just spin and TPs out to safety, so it's more wasted time for the supports and information for just how hard Shashlo can push this bottom.
It's the resource battle. Economic war right now. The Naga Siren camps enemy jungle, constantly farms. The supports, Armel, you just chase Gambit out of your own jungle. Make sure you're the ones farming 70-80% of the map. It's very clean. And Gabby, again, because of the nature of the hero, just absolutely no risk inside the jungle. You need to smoke if you want to try and pick this guy off, but how do you even determine which illusion is real?
Gotta kill them all, gotta kill them all.
Yeah, a cut top wave, now they're gonna cut towards bottom. There's still a tier 1, Armel's just gonna hit in the face all by himself.
At least this vision is possible from Shashlo. Just send the Hawk out, get some level of information. Of course, they're not even killing the Hawk. It's in range of the Radiant Sentry.
Oh, look at this cool little maneuver. March is going to run all the way towards top. He's like, all right, guys, I'll take this wave from now on. Gabby's going to swap sides. thought maybe they'd be looking to make a weird smoke move set up with a song aggressively, but nope. 9K gold lead now for TNC. They're going up by about 500 to 700 per minute. Big part of that's the towers, and they're going to take another one for free. There's nothing you can do here if you're Gambit to take this fight, and a big part of that is, again, the vision disadvantage. Illusions in 2 lanes. Night Stalker standing on a high ground, has darkness available if needed.
Just seems like such a heavy commitment from Gambit unless they fight from inside their base where TNC are forced to choke point. They look for at least the tier 1 tower on top. Edict will do the work. Even if GPK gets pushed away. Night Stalker, KP actually under the cover of Moonlight Shadow arrives on the top lane. But GPK as well as Dream are already TPing away to safety.
But that's now 5 Gambit heroes inside their base.
Yeah.
And you can feel the, not the panic necessarily, but there's a sense that, damn, we actually have to do something, guys, because right now, this doesn't feel good. When you're sitting in your base and bounty runs are spawning in 40 minutes or 40 seconds, you know that something's off. Something has to be done here if you're going to change the status quo.
You can't even smoke out. If you smoke out, the Naga is sending illusions past towers, doesn't care about waves, just gaining information. Your Hawk is getting picked up now by the perimeter of observers and sentries that are planted down.
March doing a really good job. You can see the 2 sentries, they're actually just acting as towers here, preventing any sort of vision. The Hawk will die.
They're going to smoke. They're going to try and be as quick as they possibly can here, Gambit. You got Blink Echo. He's got a 4-staff to get out as well if things get rough. Your Beastmaster roll, but you need a target. The Radiant is scanning, looking for the 25-minute rune. It's March who's going to grab it quickly.
This is sick for TNC. Bumps their lead up almost to 12. They've got one more bounty to take if they want to, but so far so good. Hurricane Pike soon to be completed on Armel. Maybe that second Roche timing is high time for them to get going.
And can they at least kill March? They need something. March has died before, and he can die again. I don't think TNC will be too sad about that, especially if something like Echo Slam. Like, if you commit Echo Slam for this, going high ground feels so much better.
This might be one blast too long. Ends it early. Very wise decision. Shacklow.
Oh, he's hanging around.
Oh, March.
Now the Hawk.
Like
now
this.
they had the vision. Raw wants to come out and waiting for it. The Fisher not even required. Bottom lane. That's where you got to bring your attention. Mid and bottom both being pushed in. TA does so much work. GPK has to clean off these off the creep wave.
You only have the 1 BKB on the Leshrac, so in theory, so long as the Naga doesn't get initiated on, they can't fight. Like, he's just standing in the back, pushing with illusions and TA. Scotty's up. You want to get aggressive, I'll just song and reset. I think this is a great read from TNC. They got beaten because Gambit effectively just ran them over. You cannot do that. They are forcing the slow game here. And much like that second game, they have the farming advantage, but this time they have the tools to ensure they aren't just absolutely decimated around the map.
Juggernaut's having a bit of a look just to make sure it's safe for his supports to move up. I really like this defensive ward from Gambit. It's out of range of most of the sentries. It's just on that bottom lane, so it's not on top of the hillside where you were looking for that Radiant sentry, and it was just out of range. So they're able to have some level of information, even though it's restricted. And then they sentry up, move out, and look towards Roshan. Establish a vision around here, and Roshan will respawn in 18 seconds.
That's going to be our first battlefield, I do believe.
You see where the
You cannot give that up for free if you're Gambit.
Put the sentry right in front of the pit, and one observe one on your high ground. And Lestrac's having a look. ES would love a fight in the pit, but he wouldn't love it when Naga Illusions had the creep wave at the tier 3 tower. This is not so fun. Miranda's pushing out the bottom lane. Tim's is not even joining this. He can TP to the shrine and get involved. He can even just pop Moonlight Shadow when he's involved.
It's just so annoying to play against this. As you said, Naga Illusions are top, so hey guys, GPK is here. We can perhaps look to Roshan. That's exactly what they do.
Can they see the Hawk? Because the sentry's just out of range. The Hawk is copying some damage. Ends up getting picked off by the TA. Moonlight Shadow is out. Lich, he's going to be the first one to get picked off. Can't get a Chain Frost, but there'll be a quick buyback available. Roshan, low on life. The Hawks are out. So is the Beastmaster Boar. trying to look around multiple sides of this pit. The Moonlight Shadow will now wear off. Roshan, do they just use Song of the Siren to ensure it? That's exactly what they're going to do. Gambit are so close, they can't get close enough. KP's already been picked off thanks to the Omni Slash, but Roshan, the Aegis model into the hands of Armel. That's a very wayward arrow, and Vampire, you know what he wants to do. He's going to Echo Slam. He needs to control the Naga. They don't have that get out jail free card. That's what the Will-O-Wisp has to then do more lifting while Armel, BKB protected. The Chain Frost now will finally bounce out. Mozo being lost inside the Ancients. Who's going to die here? Armel hasn't done enough damage yet to find one kill, but the ES, he's so low on life, they'll attack up the hill and finish him off. The TA trap slowing down the Gambit retreat. They don't have a lot of slows to work with. They have to turn for the damage. Armel, they burn through those defensive refraction charges, but KP ready to continue the fight going. Arrow flies, but does not connect into Dream. And the KP still with a voice, still with the silence. They'll send him up. FNG low on life. The Sideblade has just continued to connect in. The Frost Shield does its work, slowing down the TNC attack. They will be able to pick off the Lich, giving a dieback now for FNG. Can they continue to push in? Aegis and Cheese both in the hands of Armel, and they move to the bottom lane.
Man, it's so sick. I just realized, well, it's not even the double refractions. These double meld hits for Armel. Minus armor stacking, and he got the talent too, so it's -12, -12. They just zerged down Roche, no problem. And you blew all your huge cooldowns on Gambit. You got nothing left to try and force these big cores away. Nice buyback from KP. He tanks the Omni, sure, but he's right back into the fight.
Oh, it's a good fissure at least to control up Armel, but it's only control. You can't kill him, not through the Aegis, so the tier 3 tower is down. The Echo Slam is not up for a while, but it's still enough for TNC to back up and remove shrines, re-establish that vision control.
It's under attack.
Ag soon to be completed on Nightstalker. We discussed this a lot, but the tier 3 opens up the shrine. So much gold on these structures. You don't need to force racks necessarily. Collect your payday, buy items, look to rinse, repeat.
They definitely got big ones too. The Lotus Orb now being completed by the Mirana. More safety for that front liner you send in.
And Alan did bring up the lack of BKB piercing disable on TNC. That is true, but as we get into the late game, those meld hit bashes, especially when you consider he's being chakred immediately, you're just going to double stun people even through the spin, through anything.
TA is so fast on the hunt. Blink tag is available. Looking around near Shashlo. There's observers and sentries nearby, but TA decides to go down, farm up Ancients instead. Juggernaut pushing the top lane in as quick as he possibly can. You just watch those buybacks. Lich is the only one who has his on cooldown. So Gambit will be able to defend as long as they're in position. All the ultis are back up from Gambit. The pressure on the top tier 2 tower, it's enough. TP out from the Juggernaut, no one in range to stop it.
Oh, nice, and he leaves the lane for KP. KP's, excuse me, sir, could I please finish my axe? I'm just 200 gold away. Armel rotates to Ancients instead as Gabby cuts the next wave behind the Beastmaster. Shaklo has the blink now, so they do have those initiation tools, but 100 to 0ing a Naga that already now finishes a butterfly. It's a big ask.
Yep.
Dire's top shrine.
429 CS, 31 minutes for the Naga. TA at 344. They're eating this map.
Top tower is under attack.
Definitely some clearance issues for Gambit, just to do it quickly.
Has fallen.
Shashlo, at least he's got a lot of confidence to do what he's doing. Get a Hawk up, get some information. The Aghanim Scepter now has arrived for KP. To go with the gem, the fissure is out. March being caught out. He's the sacrificial lamb. Armel ready to fight if he wants to, but March just pushed away.
That was a defensive 4-step from Armel. Nice save on his support. You've stacked my ancients for me many times today. I shall grace you with some assistance.
These Naga illusions get so much information. Shashlo is going to potentially intercept the courier. That'll be a nice grab to get. The balls will do the work. Not even the real hero.
No items on it.
Nope.
But still annoying. You won't be able to finish the MKB on TA before this Aegis fades now. He's got a DD bottom, Aegis for 45 seconds.
I'm not so certain about this. Song of the Siren's going to come out. Earthshaker waiting to give a little bit of extra help. They'll kill off the healing ward. The rest of Gambit are nearby, and we'll see how much damage they've got to get through the Juggernaut. He doesn't have the mana to get that Omni Slash off. Being pushed around inside the Will-O-Wisp. Dream can still not break free. Now the spin is up. Moving back up the hill. Armel hits him with a Mel Strike, but not enough damage once again. Being stunned up, the Lich will die, but that's just par for the course. The tier 3 tower low on life, a quick void to the Leshrac. But remember, Vampire, he's itching to just go for that quick jump.
Yeah, and you can
no opportunity will present. TNC respect it.
Gabby's just finding him with the illusions, right-clicking. So long as his blink is canceled, he's not a threat. And it's just so difficult. So long as Gabby continues to play with this discipline, he is forcing these big initiators out of the fight. And you need vision to make a play, but how do you even get wards up under the circumstances? You've got one, and TNC are no longer playing that area. Daytime for 2 more minutes. I expect them to chill just a little bit. They have Gem and Ags on KP. You really want to wait for nighttime before you try and do anything to end the game. Their gold lead continuing to increase, equal to the total number of kills in the game now.
I'm still worried that TNC's execution won't be enough against Gambit.
And what? How so?
Oh, right now, like I feel like inside the base, you still haven't seen that Echo Slam come, and TNC, that fight dragged on for like 15, 20 seconds. They couldn't get the initiation onto the Juggernaut they really needed after the Song of the Siren set you up, and you couldn't just bring everybody in to just get the kill.
Well, they're just a bit out of position.
If they do group up, then Vampire gets the jump. I definitely say, like, yeah, TNC are in a very good position in this game, but we've seen Gambit time and time again find these initiations and just put a team back down.
The problem is that they've just kind of been read in a sense. Like, yeah, you still have the opportunity to do so, but it's going to require TNC making a mistake. They have a fluttering Vamp, like Night Stalker. He's going to be checking high grounds. If he doesn't see anything, everyone else is probably safe. Illusions on one end, TA traps, scouting arrows. It's
a lot to work with.
It's hard to make a play when you don't have any information. And right now, Gambit are playing blind. They're going to smoke up, but this is like they're just praying they find somebody valuable as they traverse these woods.
It's because they've pressured the tier 2 tower on top lane. In fact, not just pressured, they took it out. They're hoping to catch somebody who's rotating towards that top lane. Now the smoke goes from TNC, and they'll move straight in. The Templar Assassin, the smoke will break. The Roar is out into the Omni Slash. The Will-O-Wisp, but won't be able to cancel it off. TA goes down. This is what Gambit wanted. A pick outside of their base. They're still losing their range racks on bottom. The Illusions are doing this. Leshrac has done the best he possibly can to try and keep this up, but that's the sacrifice that'll have to be paid by Gambit.
At least they did not lose the gem on TNC, also gaining a range Rex, but as you can see, that was Gambit's best hope, right? They find the kill, the critical one. TA goes down, but there's no objectives to be had because their lanes are already shoved, and they're gonna need more than that. But with no Omni Slash, tough to force a team fight. Hex soon to be complete on Gabby. Already has the bots, looking to find solo pickoffs. All of a sudden, he's a threat on his own. And Armel closing in on that meld hit bash. Only needs another level and a half. He'll be fully online.
Leshrac, run. Gabby is right behind him. Song of the Siren will connect. Can they see him inside the tree lines in time? Check your corners. Like we're playing Counter-Strike right now. Arrow will fly forward. Perfect time for the Song of the Siren to come off. No way Leshrac was able to get around that. And that is 83 seconds down. Buyback is available, but you see what happens on the other side. Dream, he continues to push out these lanes. He's always aiming that side pressure, so TNC have to look behind themselves. I'm not saying it's giving them lane momentum. They're against the Naga Siren, but they're doing the best they can with what they've got.
Yeah, I take back what I said at the start of the game, Toby. Excited about Naga Siren?
No. 20 kills in 36 minutes. This is the reason why this... Like, when this hero was picked up at TI3, it was rained with booze every single time.
Hey, to be fair, you know, TNC, they're trying to win their first ever ESL. There's a Sadie's on the line.
That's fair enough.
And this is working, right? They're not feeling the pressure. Gambit, you guys are the ones that are going to have to make plays if you want to take this game.
I actually think the only person in this game right now that's actually won an ESL 1 is KP. And he did that as newbie back at Genting. The range rack's being ripped apart once again.
Yep, they got a creep wave.
Here comes your arrow. No one's going to get hit by that one. Here comes ES, ready for the jump. Everyone's pretty grouped up. You clean up the illusions. The range racks has already been taken down. Still not feeling that moment. Earthshaker. They don't have to battle through an Aegis the Immortal. That's the upside. And TNC, it felt like they were grouping just enough heroes that it looks like an Echo Slam would be worthwhile. But if they blow that, just as like Roshan could respawn, we know he's going to spawn in a minute's time.
And that'll
there's no way for Gambit to contest it if there's no slam.
Critical third Aegis, Refresher, or Aghanims for somebody on this Radiant side. Blink Dagger now on KP.
They're smoking out. KP's going to walk straight into them. However, the Observe Ward breaks. The Moonlight Shadow comes down. They drop Ops quickly. The Gem of True Sight from Beastmaster. Working to get rid of these traps. It's a good arrow on the Leshrac, but no one's there to follow up.
And Gabby,
Yes,
You know,
TP bottom again.
He's just playing so well. Spam illusions, never stand on top of them. His real hero yet to really enter this game, but it doesn't have to. He's 5,000 gold ahead of everybody. And as long as he's not on top of illusions, standing off by himself, he'll be just fine. He can't get dunked.
I love how everybody gets to watch Roshan. You got a TA trap and you got a Beastmaster Hawk. The Hawk's about to time out. Roshan will spawn in 5 seconds, so a secondary Hawk will have to be sent. Now, Beastmaster Raw catching KP, Vampire waiting for it. They four-staff him into the creep wave with the following fissure. KP dropping very quickly. He'll consume the cheese, getting his life back once again, while Leshrac in the backlines almost killing off Tips, trying to run away. KP will finally drop. Is there an extra help? Vampire's waiting for it. The Will-O-Wisp is down, but TA protected by the BKB. The arrow stun combination, GPK, they're pushing him further away. The Astaire is over on Vampire, but now you have the Echo Sam. You got the fissure. He's waiting it out. They bought the space to get out of here. The song and the siren. They want to make sure this ES dies. They're all grouped up.
Oh,
he just throw it out. The arrow will come in. Leshrac, he died to the TA trap. He walked up and I think he got hit by a TA trap, which was on the hill. And now you're going for Roshan. Leshrac's dead without buyback for 70 seconds.
Dude, he got so lucky there. Like 3 high ground misses from the TA. Oh my goodness.
Now Roshan will be taken. There is no contest to be had. Echo wasn't blown, so a high ground defense is maybe possible.
But no Omni Slash, that's the key.
Aghanim Scepter upgrade goes into the Mirana. That's what Roshan dropped, not the refresher.
That was such an interesting engagement. TA now level 25, does have that melted bash. All of a sudden, Gambit in a bit of trouble.
And how do they even get this clearance? The Naga illusions feel like they're unkillable, especially when you don't have the Leshrac. They come in for the tier 3 tower on top. They're going to be a little bit more patient. Once again, TNC give respect to the high ground of Gambit.
They did.
Naga illusions do not. Here we go. So
quick initiation onto the Night Stalker. Armel, I think if he just, you'll see in a moment, yeah, he just goes GPK, tries to kill Tims, who's gonna just leap away. Nice juke on the stun. KP, I think if Armel sits with him, maybe tanks on that Omni Slash, he could save him, but alas. And I want to, how, in the arrow, if he blocks the arrow here with Dream, he was spinning, that might save his Lesh, but I'm not actually sure how he survives through this. I guess he's just not taking that much damage. The defensive Solar Crest was huge, but as you said, the trap.
Yep.
Last tick of damage finishes him off. That is so frustrating after escaping so narrowly. All for naught.
Vampire is waiting. He has got himself a very nice position, but feels a little too close. They smoke up and TNC look for their own fight.
Like
they feel that there's so many traps everywhere. Vampire, he's no longer a hero. Buyback is available, but Vampire shows when double damage on a Templar Assassin is up, you get 2 hit. And he'll have to buy back. They're coming in, they'll take the melee racks. They need a creep wave to go with it. And maybe Juggernaut, Omni Slash is available, Moonlight Shadow. They're getting out of range of the Sentry Ward, so Juggernaut does not want to burn that Omni Slash. And here's Leshrac just cleaning up the bottom illusions. But Armel, unfazed, hitting that melee rack, still has the Aegis Immortal. They cannot commit on Armel.
I love the defensive Lotus Orb spam. All these disables from Gambit are single target with the exception of the dunk. You can't use your Sinister Gaze. Roar isn't effective. Oh, hold on.
Juggernaut bashed up. That's that Mel bash going to work. Roar onto the Night Stalker. KP trying to come in close. Now the Chain Frost bouncing around. Armel four-staffed out. That Chain Frost still causing some problems. The Song is trying to help them reset, but the Chain Frost still being a bit of a pain in the butt. They'll keep their melee racks alive for now, Gambit, and you can see Dream is like, can we make something about this? Is there any Defy in this moment? And there is not.
Yeah, TNC content, not quite fully 8 slotted on their cores yet, so you've got more items to buy.
They just pinged you your exact position. He's gonna start his TP out. I think he hoped at least he could pulse the wave down, but so risky being that far out with that information.
There's the MKB on the TA. He's already got a Deso in his backpack for when the Aegis comes back, or is reclaimed rather. Gabby approaching, yep, 8,000 gold. Enough for a buyback and a casual rapier.
Time for moonshots to be bought, right?
His buyback cost is currently 2,800 gold.
Easily affordable. Armel setting a trap, looking for Dream. Dream, blinding light it back up again. That forced him to walk straight past Armel. Now the Mel Strike able to connect with the bash into the follow-up arrow. They try and force Armel away with the Fidget block, but now your Juggernaut is down. His eyes buy back up. But TNC, the trap is sprung, and Gabby goes in, hexing over on the Earthshaker. He can't afford to die. Arrow flies forward. He'll connect over an FNG. Vampire needs to get the hell out of here, but he's been pulled back in by the Will-O-Wisp. He's not ready for the... He doesn't have mana. He's completely dry.
So good.
And the Song of the Siren, they look towards him, but they don't want him. They want the bigger target of the Manta style. Dodging out from Juggernaut. He's got a chance to fight into the Omnislash, pushing around. They pull back. Templar Assassin FNG tries to keep him in this fight, but Lestrak just doesn't have enough life to survive. Or maybe he does. When the shields are up, they can go back and reset. Still no kills coming for such huge abilities, but the Echo Slam is able to connect, but not enough damage. Night Stalker just consumes the cheese, gets all the life back again. ES will now buy back. And the fortification kicks in. Gambit doing everything they can to keep their melee racks alive, but they don't have their big hitters anymore. The Fissure tries to create space. KP goes straight at the top of it. It's a good split up from GPK, using that Pulse Nova to get some damage out. Maybe finally KP can die. No, on 79 HP. He'll walk away, and Gambit will GG call it. It was the slowest march to victory, but it was methodical by TNC.
Yeah, perfect. Meld hit bashes into Arrow. You kind of need level 25 on TA to make those sorts of plays. And just really, it took a while, but you can't blame TNC. They knew